Liverpool's poor form continues. Has Slot got the remedy? Has Slot got the answers? Has the summer transfer window been a disaster? Has Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards dropped the ball with the signings that they've made? Is it the coach's fault? Is he not getting a tune out of quality players? Or is he being left out to dry? Is his tactics the issue? Or is the player's motivation the issue? So much to chop with the current performance of Liverpool. Went up to Anfield and, pretty disappointing. And I think that's the view of most people. But look, let's have a conversation. Let's deep dive. What is going on after this? Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, LFC fans. Thank you and welcome to my channel, David Loves Football. Where do we start? Really looked forward to the game. Went up there with some really top blokes and really want to sort of enjoy seeing Liverpool get 3 points. We played in Nottingham, 2 points at the bottom. I have to be honest with you, I had a fear. Just something is in the water at the moment and it just not seems to be clearing. I'm not seeing Liverpool building up that form where even if we're playing teams like Nottingham Forest and say we're controlling the games, we're not, yet breaking through. We know at some point we'll get the chance and we'll score. At the moment, we're not even creating chances. And I gave the analogy of this. If people that know Sugar Ray Leonard or some of those boxers who really got great ring craft. You're fighting an opponent and you're getting loads of punches in. They're not heavy punches. Just tap, 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 taps. All you're doing is tapping. You're dominating. But that 1 second, the opponent gets one blow on you, you crumple. And that is how Liverpool are. And that's, to be true, how it seemed the game went. 75% possession, only 25% for Nottingham Forest. And watching that game, it just felt we weren't creating. There was some blocks. There was a few Gakpo cuts-ins. There was a great cross from Salah, which should have been finished. McAllister had a couple of chances. But really, 77th minute before I saw a chance for the keeper to make an easy save, and that's from Szoboszlai. It was just... I don't want to say disappointing. I think it's got to a point now with how many losses now in the league, 6 in a row. It's almost, or take away Aston Villa, it just feels like we don't have a solution. And that is the worry, because I'm always saying the coach needs to go out there and he needs to coach the guys and get these guys performing. I didn't see no challenges. I didn't see the first challenge, second challenge, us looking to dominate and win the ball. I mean, look, we had possession because Nottingham Forest played low block, but we moved the ball at times so slowly. It was so obvious that we wouldn't break through unless there's a mistake. And this is where Slot, who last season was a calm coach, made a lot of decisions in the second half, which, delivered the results. Was that luck? I remember with Konza playing, poor lad, half-time, whipped him off to set example. I don't see that coach at the moment. He's been given riches, I would say. Now look, transfer window, would we really have been disappointed with getting an Isak in? Would we have been disappointed in getting a Wirtz in? Or Ekitike? And even a Frimpong? I don't think we would. I don't see, or Kirkers, I don't see how we would. But unfortunately, there has to be a plan behind everything, and you can see the plan. So when you have a player like Ekitike and you have a player like Isak, again, we know it was a long drawn out saga, and Isak finally joined us, but then there's obviously injuries and stuff like that. But Isak's kind of play where you feed him. That's what he had in Newcastle. Look at what Newcastle striker now from Germany. Look how he's getting opportunities. They're feeding him. When Isaac's playing with Liverpool the times he has played, he's not getting fed. I mean, I thought he huffed and he's puffed. And I will put some blame at him. At some point, he's got to start showing a bit more, show that dominance up top. But I'm looking at like, okay, who's going to cross to him? Who's passing the ball to him? Where's the creativity? I don't see it. So you got a player in, but we haven't had a strategy for creativity apart from Wirtz, who's now awful 5-6 weeks injured. There's no balls coming from left or right. Robbo's not going down the flanks. And let's not talk about Robbo. We'll catch up to that. Kirkes, at least a couple of times I saw him down the flanks against Nottingham Forest, and a great cross which we should have really put away. But again, we haven't seen that most time of the season. Ekitike, probably our best player apart from Szoboszlai so far this season. And then he gets dropped. For a player who's scratching at the moment to get to form in Isaac, does that make sense? You know, as Ekitike was your creative player up top to at least keep your defenders busy, I felt like Isaac didn't keep Morello busy at the back. He didn't keep them busy. He didn't, but also he didn't get anything created. Then you look at the centre-back situation. Look, again, this is what I'm looking at it is that, is this a problem with the transfer purchases and what we did? No, Guehi, okay, I'm sure they thought they'll get him over the line. I'm sure they did. But we let an England youth player, who now is a English established player, which is, in Kwanzaa, who's doing pretty well, Leverkusen. Why did we let him go? Why? He would have been starting now. Because I've said this from the start of the season. Gomez is not the player at the moment. It's great. We all reminisce of the love we had. Reminisce over the good times. Gomez ain't playing. Gomez can't get himself fit to play. Even a press conference today, the coach was talking about he had a knee injection, etc., etc. Gomez can't keep himself fit. He's not going to get a run of games where he's going to be kept fit. He's going to keep himself fit to show what he can do. He's not. Gomez is gone. And I think we would have been better off trying to do a deal with Palace, selling Gomez to Palace and having Guehi in. Okay, that would help the centre-back situation with Konate coming off. I think people criticising Smiling. I've shared my views of Konate. Great game, Real Madrid. Aston Villa did well, but much too little in the season. Ball control, passing through the lines, just not there. Concentration, gave away that corner that didn't need to be corner for the first goal. I was right there. It was unnecessary, but that's him. And obviously the talk of potentially PSG, the talk of Real Madrid, it's clearly got to his head. He's got a last offer. And there's already rumours that, look, we will go and make a purchase for Guehi in January. And that shows where coach not happy with him. And I don't blame him. I don't. But why do we let Kwanzaa go? Why? Guehi still didn't get over the line and we left ourselves short. Right back situation, Trent, obviously that's a situation that we couldn't enough about. Trent had to go. But again, we had alternatives that we could have looked for in the transfer window. Bradley, I've said this before, I don't know if he's the man. Yes, he'll play the 1 or 2 games, but anyone that knows Bradley from even youth football, he can't keep himself fit. He can't. This is another Gomez situation. He can't keep himself fit. So we're not going to get that consistency. And he's not combining with Salah when he is playing. Yes, he had a good game against Madrid. But then we saw what happened with Man City and how Doku did him. And look at Man City just lost now. So, Liverpool have a tendency at the moment to make teams look really good because we are just so poor at the moment. But yet we have got a lot of skull dust in the team. We just can't put it together. Centre mid. Okay, McAllister, we know his issues, his injuries. He doesn't look anywhere like the midfielder. He doesn't. And hard yards, he should be dropped. He should be on the bench until he's fit. I don't have a problem with you playing Jones. No problem at all. I had an issue on Saturday, Jones playing, because why? Why are we dropping our main centre midfielder at the moment, the one energetic player in the team, yeah? Why are we putting him to right back? It didn't work. Yes, we dominated the first 20, 30 minutes with tiki-taka football, uncreative tiki-taka football, but it didn't work. We needed that energy in the heart of the midfield. Jones would have been perfectly fine on the right back because there wasn't really much wing play coming from them. The only time we saw wing play was when Robbo, when he came on, he was like a traffic warden. Literally, just let the guy go past and, Bob's your uncle. And that's nothing new to me because I feel Robbo's legs are gone. And again, Kirkes was the answer to that. But what are we doing Kirkes? Because he looks a totally different player to when he did at Bournemouth. Is that coaching? Is that the strategy, tactics? What is it? Because in the moment, he looks like he should never been in the club. It looks like we should have got someone else because it's not working at all. And this is where I look, okay, that bit, the transfers in, the coach is there to coach. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, and more Hughes, obviously, is in terms of you make the purchase. Why are we purchasing them? What's the plan? What's the long-term plan? Because now we're talking about Semenyo in January. Great, but then we know he's going to be playing African Cup of Nations if he comes across. I would see that actively in a moment. Like, others saw Salah have a good game. I thought he wasn't what I expect, and he hasn't been for most of the season. And I would love to see Semenyo. I would love to see him challenging Salah, and I feel Salah should be dropped. I don't understand why the coach is not dropping Salah. I look at players like Chiesa, and I feel really sorry for the lad because I feel Chiesa is showing such determination, such commitment to the cause, and he's not getting a look in, apart from 10 minutes to go in a game that we're losing. Same with Rio. Gakpo, aka the Ghost, he is the most obvious player. Obvious. It wouldn't confuse me if I was marking him. I know what he's going to do. He's going to cut into his right foot. That's every time. Whereas a little cameo that Rio did, and I have to be honest, at that time I was gone. When the third goal came in, you could just see a mass exodus because it was just so frustrating. It was so frustrating, to see the game, to really take in the atmosphere, to really, be the club that I love for just so long, and to see just poor tactics and to see lack of energy out there. And seeing a player like Gakpo, I just feel it should have been sold as well. Why do we sell Diaz? This, yes, his salary, etc., but why didn't we pay it? Was he really asking for something unreasonable? Because that player we need. That player had energy. He could take a man on. He could score goals. He was a menace, and he defended like a menace. I don't see that in Gakpo. I don't. And the coach has a problem. He has a problem from the beginning to the end. Alisson's back, I think it's Mamashvili. It's unfortunate for him that he wasn't playing. I don't feel, obviously, Alisson was at fault at all the goals. But it is a problem. And going into the PSV game, with PSV off quite a good run at the moment, even though they had a bad start, it feels like it's do or die again. And we thought we'd already been in this moment. We're now 12th in the league. 11 points away from Arsenal. Not long ago, we were top. Make sense of it. It's like the wheels are falling off, but then look, doesn't surprise me because I've said from the beginning, these last minute goals that we scored when we won those first 5 games, it could have been flipped right over. We could have been in a worse position because we weren't performing. I'm not seeing what Slot is trying to do. And I'm looking for that because last season we could see it. However boring it was at times, we could see what he was trying to do. We could see his tactics. It feels like the league has moved on. It feels like a lot of teams are more direct. And we want to play tic-tac football, but at times we don't even do that. The control, the passing, slow, methodical, not the kind of thing that will get past low blocks. And teams are sussed it. Low block. Get one chance, we'll score because we can't defend as a team. The goals conceded is ridiculous. Nottingham Forest to rock up to Anfield to beat us by 3-0 says a lot. And I didn't see no hunger to get back in. I didn't see commitment. I didn't see that tackle. I didn't see it. Take away refereeing decisions aside, etc. for the first goal. Didn't see it. Didn't see it. And that is a different level, because I've never known a Liverpool team, maybe apart from Hodgson's, where I can say the guys look like they didn't really have the energy and desire. The captain did. I could see him frustrated, but everyone else around him was not rallying round. Gravenberch didn't have one of his good games. So Bozalai was in a right back, should never been. Jones was Jones, holding the ball up too long. McAllister is just totally off it. I don't know if Madrid's going to come calling soon for him, and that'll be that. You know, Konate is inconsistent. Konate. Virgil looks like he's got a world in his shoulders. Kirkez still looks like he's trying to find where he belongs. It's Gakpo, like I said, is aka Ghost. I would rather seen Rio, to be honest with you, playing instead of Gakpo. It's. I don't even know where to place us now in terms of the league, because whereas before you could lose a couple of games, but you always knew there was a performance there, we'll get the results. I think any team that rocks up against us is going to feel like they got an opportunity, especially in a Prem. Champions League maybe is different, and obviously we've got PSV coming. It'll be interesting to see what the coach does. Will he keep the same team? I think he should play Rio. Definitely give him opportunity. Let's see what the young lad can do. There's no harm in it. Gakpo's not doing anything. We've got players like Frimpong out for, still, we don't know when he's coming back. I would like to see Salah dropped. I want to see Salah on the bench. Play Chiesa. Change it up. If you're going to have play him and Ekitike up top, whatever. Just let's not keep doing the same thing and hope. I'm not seeing Salah be the Salah we expect. He has to show that. He was big enough to talk about his salary and that he wasn't getting the contract he wanted. Be big enough now to talk about what's going on, how you're going to perform better. And at the moment, he's not, and he's quiet, and it's just Virgil, stand up each time to talk. Disappointing. The next few games is going to be, and it should be the easier games. Nottingham Forest was the start of the easier run. Can you believe this? And we made it look like something else. Let me know what you think. Let me know your views. PSV's coming. I expect us to get a result. I expect there to be a lot of angry players. I'm still concerned with players like Wirtz out for 6 weeks. I think we lose a lot of creativity, and a coach doesn't look like he can make decisions at the moment which can go beyond his normal tactics, but work now to get results and points. Because at the moment, he needs to stop being stubborn, in my view, and just get us formations, tactics that will deliver the result. Because if he keeps doing what he wants to do at the moment, I don't think it's going to work. Not currently. And so you have to be a little bit adaptable. Don't be like Amarin. Yeah. Yes, Man United are happy. Same points lost. They've only played in the Premiership. Seriously? I mean, come on. United should be higher, considering that they've got no other games in the Europe. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Let me know your views of the coach. Is it slot in? Is it slot out? I'm willing to see what's going on. Let me know about the transfer window and the transfer, how you think it went. Did Hughes, Edwards drop the ball? What do you think? And, is this a full-blown crisis, or are we making a lot to do about nothing? 11th, 12th place, not where I want to be. Talk to you after PSV game.